Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to session 3 of my corporation campaign. As you can see, there is one additional person here who is going to be joining us for the rest of the campaign. But what I will do is I'll get certainly the rest of you to introduce your characters before our new one steps in, and also hopefully bring you up to speed with what's happened if you have forgotten that super trippy session I gave to you last week. So firstly, on my right, you're on my right, it's going to be Ronnie.
Hi there, Ronnie here. And I am playing Maxwell Foxworth, who is an American agent with a posh English accent, because, let's face it, it's far more interesting. And, yes, I'm still recovering from last week's excesses.
And moving on to the next right is Phil.
Hi, I'm playing Ziyang Zero, expert in pork processing products and an agent for the Apocalypse Now Corporation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, recap then. So, essentially, you did a little bit more. Also, Becky.
Did you genuinely forget? Or was that a tease?
No comment?
Hi, I'm Offensive Back from the Cougars. I play Offensive Back and I endorse this product. That gets added in post. I have no idea what I'm promoting today. It's a great product!
Okay, yes, so recap. Now, this is generally not forgetting anybody. So you were doing some more investigating. Essentially, no. Straight away, I've forgotten what happened. You kind of came out of your.
We were in the gym. We did a thing. Killed terrorists. May or may not have been real. Ended up on a level with LARPers, a level of the shopping precinct with LARPers, who may or may not have been mortally wounded.
Yes.
And then we went and hunted a building, and I'm convinced that we're still under the effects of a drug. We're having flashbacks to being in hospital. It's most likely that we're in some way catatonic, or doing the things and being mind-controlled.
Indeed.
It's a mess.
Remember what happened towards the end?
Yes, we went inside, or we woke up, as it were, from one of our flashbacks, inside a fortress, and they were sacrificing this woman. And if I remember correctly, my plan was to stop them sacrificing the woman by killing her first.
Yes, that's right.
That is true.
And I can't remember exactly where we were when we freeze-framed.
Well, essentially, you were kind of back in your hospital bed. You'd kind of gone back to that point.
Oh, right. So we don't actually know if I killed her or not.
No. Do you remember her name?
I'm Offensive Back. I play Offensive Back for the Cougars.
As in the other woman. It's the only other woman that's in this show.
Oh, damn.
They called her Gemini.
That's right.
Oh, yes, because I was worried that they were going to try and cut her in half. To make literally two of her.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there was some kind of Sarlacc pit she was going to be sacrificed into to make two Geminis or something.
No, that's all in your head. It was just going to be an altar.
Okay, all right. I'm sure there was a deep pit somewhere.
No.
We were up on an upper level looking down on the whole setup, I believe.
Yeah, it was kind of it was sort of theatre like with an upper sort of
You know what? I
balcony
think
viewing
we should
level.
do this week. Right, we should watch last week's episode and remind ourselves what the hell happened.
No, that's pretty close. So we fast forward to about a week later. You are mobile and you're moving about, but you are being put through your UIG implemented well-being schedule. It is the second day, and after kind of doing breathing exercises for about 6 to 8 hours the day before, you're now going in to do your sort of basic psychology. You all sit down in front of this guy who does a little torch in your eye, make sure that you're following it and things like that. And then he starts showing some pictures that he asks you to look at just for a brief second and see if you can interpret what it is.
No, I do not want another well-being apple. I don't want it unless it's grilled in fat and barbecued.
Can you tell me what this is, please?
It's two people having sex.
That's a Welt ball.
And this, please?
That's a blood splatter from the defensive linesman who was holding the Welt ball.
That's two people having sex.
And this, please?
That's two people having sex.
That's an above view of a Welt ball team.
And finally this.
That's three people having sex.
That's a vagina. With tits.
He looks at you, Jang, being explicitly quiet. Do you have
Because he
any
couldn't get a
thoughts?
word in edgeways. Oh, sod.
It looks like some offal from a pork processing process. It's something we'd bin, I think, unless we need to make the weight up.
I'm looking at this psychologist really rather looking at him. I'm quite disturbed by him.
Is there any particular reason why you're disturbed by me, Mr. Foxworth?
I guess you keep showing dirty pictures.
Well,
After that, I was a sports fan.
I may have pulled one or two from places I shouldn't have done, and I know that some are watermarked, but that's my budget. He then starts making some notes.
Bit explicit.
That's a license violation. Now, hang on. I know this one. A copyright violation, trademark violation, because, of course, there's a trademark on the watermark. That's like, I mean, I'm seeing 80,000 credits here at least, and I'll start writing out a ticket.
I think OB's feeling a bit better.
I don't actually have any of my forms with me. I'm not working at the moment, but I can still write you up. I have licenses. So here's a prescription with a fine on.
He completely ignores what you're doing. He actually gets up and starts doing those sort of not incense, those sort of smoke things that come up and turns on some ambient music, but says quite sort of loudly, "I want you all to relax and imagine a wonderful sandy beach."
Stop. How can we relax with that? Is that safe?
You can't relax in this shit, for God's sake. It gets everywhere.
And as you're kind of complaining, suddenly the door bursts open.
Bloody hell.
In comes Phil with 2 L's. God's sake, you've been doing this way too long, this bloody well-being. You want it on your next trip. We turn that smelly shit off.
Trip? I don't want any more trips. And no more apples.
I think this
I'm
will
sick
change
of
your
well-being
mind.
apples.
I think this is an actual trip, not something whilst under the influence.
You are going to a Welt Ball game in Vladivostock.
Ooh.
Oh, right. But these guys can't play. Can I have a better team?
It's not about playing.
Wait, what?
You are not playing at the Welt Ball game.
What?
You are simply going there to observe.
What?
You can do that, can you, Offensive?
I'm not a spectator. I'm a player.
Well, I mean, you could try and join in if you want, but you'd probably die. You're a bit past your sell-by date, you know.
Right. Zhang, you get in front of the two Phils. I'll get in front of offensive, and we'll try and stop the immediate kind of rush here, because I've got a feeling that she's about to give him a very good demonstration of her tackling abilities.
Yes, I changed
And-
terminology, Phil.
And before you come at me, to stop any more shenanigans going on and you deviating to go to a gym in the middle of the night, you'll be joined by somebody else who is on secondment.
Oh.
Come in, Nicholas? Yes, Nicholas. Klaus. Nicknames. And in comes this rather well-dressed gentleman, also with an English accent. But feel free to describe more about your character, Klaus.
Well, you say English, it is not English. European, yes, but English not. Klaus, Nicholas Reed, MD, is a short fellow, maybe 5'6", in his stocking feet. Well dressed, as you say, wearing a hat, glasses. He's also carrying what appears to be a medical briefcase as well, and he just comes in and tips his hat. Good evening. Good to see you all up and about.
Klaus is in Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa Claus, yeah.
Phil, yes. Could I possibly have a quiet word in your ear?
Yes, if you don't shout too loudly.
Oh, I won't be shouting at all. I sort of take him away from the rest. Right. All I need you to do at this point is to reassure me that the only reason you are sending this gentleman with us is because we took a bit of damage. We took some fire last time, and he looks like a man who can patch us up on the go. Is that why he's coming with us?
If that's what makes you feel better, then yeah, sure. Anyway, I don't want to brief you here in this smoke den. Just, I'll get you some tickets in a couple of days, and I'll brief you
excellent! Because I
remotely.
need to write him up. He used copyrighted and trademarked images.
Oh, okay, well, not my area, not my problem. So yeah, whatever.
Not to mention they were extremely pornographic in nature.
I thought that's what all doctors did. Sort of stuff with the body.
Yes, but it was very, very pornographic. It's just
Show like diagrams and stuff of body parts, or else how are you supposed to learn? God, Foxworth.
Why do you think we need a babysitter with this, Phil? I mean,
I didn't say a babysitter.
well, that
I said a
appears to be-
secondment. It's a completely different set of hiring rules. Anyway, it's not just me who wanted him. His superiors thought it'd be good for him to do this, and whatever they want, so win-win.
Other than your obvious medical credentials, Mr. Reed, what are your aptitudes?
Aptitudes. Very good mental aptitudes. If you are in need of a certain piece of cybernetic equipment being sewn to your body, then you could ask me too.
Excellent, you're hired. Thank you. Well done. Yes. Fantastic. I look at Phil. Basically, I look at Phil with two L's, essentially just drawing him daggers, saying, conversation to be had.
Now you're late for your 2-day journey to Vladivostok.
Thank you, Mr. Phil.
Why does it take so long to get to Vladivostok?
Budget tickets. What do you expect?
Oh,
You're not getting first class airline tickets or anything like that.
Oh,
but well, right.
How
Just,
did you find a technology so slow? It's the 26th century.
And more importantly, why did you go to such extreme lengths for us? Why couldn't you treat it as like normal agents and give it us proper fare?
He's
I
already
think
kind of
it's.
walked off by that point.
I think it actually.
Thank you, Philly.
I think it actually might be cattle class for us.
Where is my map?
If there's any actual bloody cattle in there, I'm gonna fucking slaughter them on general principle.
They wouldn't put us in with real food. It's worth too much.
Bollocks to all of this.
Multi-meat, maybe.
So essentially, your journey is going to be all the way across America down to the Atlanta teleport station, to which you've received essentially third-class tickets for teleports. So it's a longer queue.
Wait, pause. You can teleport third class?
Well, so longer queues. It takes longer for you to materialize at the other end. You know, things like that.
Don't use many of the safety.
There might be a bit more side effects and stuff at the end, depending.
You may arrive looking like a fly.
Maybe not quite that much, but yes. So yeah, you head from New York to Atlanta, which by bus
Howard Shore music
take about 3 days.
Sweet.
And
Wait, it's gone to 3 days.
yes,
I thought
what
it
was
was 2.
Oh, sorry, 2 days. 2 days, 3 days. It's a couple of days.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse. These tickets get cheaper by the moment.
Oh, dear. It's a couple of days.
Right. We need to touch base with Phil because we need to be debriefed as to why we're going to this bloody match.
Yeah, and in fact, he calls you as you're sort of standing in the queue for the teleporter, which is a good sort of 5-hour or so wait, even in a place like Atlanta. So he says to you on your speakers, obviously, so you're not heard by anyone else. So you're heading to Vladivostok for a rather interesting game between the Black Hawks and the Cougars. I thought Offensive would be pleased to know.
Name apparent. Actually, not me. Say, looking at me.
In fairness, all of my old teammates are dead, but maybe the staff might be the same.
Fine.
I mean, they mostly died in the play. I got this eye injury in.
But the reason why we're sending you there is because the last time a match took place was with our own team. And one of the players was mysteriously killed. Not legitimately killed, but mysteriously killed.
Sorry, last time was our own team against who? And who's our own team?
The UIG team. Guilty Without Judgment. How have you not heard of them? They're better than the Cougars.
No, I'm sure we must have beaten them many times.
No, statistically you haven't. If anything, we've beaten you.
When I was playing. And so, wait, so when Guilty Without Judgment last played who?
At Vladivostok.
At Vladivostok.
They were playing against Black Ballet.
Black Ballet.
Yes.
So Guilty Without Judgment played Black Ballet, and a player died, and you're angry about it.
This is what I'm trying to say, if you keep up. He didn't die in the game. He was assassinated.
Was it on the pitch or off the pitch?
No, it was off the pitch.
Off the pitch, right.
Interesting.
We think that it may be something to do with your infamous Sonatol find.
Oh. Was he known to take drugs, or was he suspected of
Well, of
Yeah,
course.
Maxwell's a World War player. You basically eat burgers of it.
But the difference is that Sonatol's a very new product. So whether he touched it or not, we don't know, because this is the first, certainly, we've seen of Sonatol in America. Whether it got to Russia first or beforehand, we don't know.
I see.
But he was apparently displaying symptoms of somebody who had a huge overdose of Sonatol.
And
This sounds
when
like a-
was this?
A couple of weeks ago.
Right.
This sounds like a job that's right up our street. You leave it to us, boss.
You're welcome. Make sure your timesheets are in on time this time.
As always.
don't worry, we'll be sending them back to you third class.
You said time quite a lot in one sentence.
Please make sure that you get your timesheets in before the deadline. Is that better?
Yes.
Put time in the line. Got it.
Yes. You'll be making allowances for the fact that we'll be sending them back third class, won't you?
There is such thing as email.
Yes, we'll be using third class email.
I mean, you can't see his face or anything, but his name, the UIG player who died, his name was Daniel Two Swords Chan.
Ooh. Given my character's sort of background as a sort of agent to the stars and so on, have I perhaps heard of this particular gentleman?
Yeah, I think you would have done. As long as you've done some stuff in sports, then yeah, you probably would have done.
I've probably done agencies, done something. So I mean, is he sort of rising star, bubbling under the surface? Or is he a major celeb?
Not a major celeb. He was definitely a rising star. Unlike what Offensive is actually saying, Guilty Without Judgment do have a better rating overall than the Cougars. So he was a fairly new player, and he was he stood out a little bit because of his sort of mixed race thing and how his technique was a bit different.
Okay, so just about to hit the big time.
Could possibly use your services.
I don't get why people don't keep a backup. Like, if you die, why don't you just restore from backup?
Was that a rhetorical question?
No, there's a place in Milayure. When I was on the team, they just always backed you up.
Are you still on Smeeka to Phil? When you
I have to get other people to turn it off. I don't think about that.
Okay. in that case, you actually hear him like spit out his drink or something when you mention Milayure.
Wait, it was just part of the player insurance.
Your beverage not to your liking, Phil?
I just no, it's decafs. Oh, God's sake! I drink proper coffee.
Yes.
Why are we talking about coffee? I'm asking why we don't restore the player from backup.
Yeah, the Smeeka's turned off by this point.
But there's no murder if you just restore them.
I think he might have gone, OB.
Yeah. He's
They take a mind print and then 3D print your body again and put the print of the mind in the and then all you need is your cybernetics reinstalled and stuff.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Do the UIG team not have insurance?
Perhaps they're not used to getting beaten or getting killed then. Perhaps they don't think they need it.
I must admit, I noticed I didn't have insurance on this job.
yes.
And I can't really afford to take it out myself because apparently I don't get paid very much now.
Welcome to the real world.
Welcome to the world of hard graft. Oh, this bloody line.
So, you eventually get into the teleport station, get all set up, and you are transported over to the teleport station in Seoul, Spires, so in Korea. However, as I mentioned, it is third class. Can each of you roll for me? Let's go with endurance. Plus. That's not really anything close to what I was going for. Yeah, just give me an endurance by itself, actually.
Oh,
It's
shit.
just half the chance of success by not having a thing to add. Well, I passed it.
Well, good for you.
No, not even close.
I failed by 2.
And I failed by 7.
Okay. So the three of you who failed, as you're driving up again on another bus up to Vladivostock from Korea, you're getting these images in your head of those inky sort of interpretation pictures that psychiatrists throw at you. Like, what do you see? And they keep molding into that tower that at least 2 of you have seen before. Nicholas, you may have seen the tower before or know of it. Can you give me an intelligence plus corp knowledge?
Maxwell, put the cushion over your crotch. You've gone hard.
Oh, that's why the blood ran from my face. Well, at least you were able to see it from so far away.
That's fail by 4.
How by 4? Yeah, you don't know about this at all. It looks really ominous. It's a very tall, brutalist-looking tower with these sort of big, 3 big pronged supports coming out of it, almost like a tripod of some sort. But the others, yeah, obviously you've seen this before, with the grassland and the ships, etc., etc. But where you've seen it, you don't know. But it keeps coming into your head. Eventually, whether you've got a hard on or not, you do fall asleep to try and sleep off the sickness. But then when you wake up a few hours later, you actually see it on the horizon.
Well, my erection.
No, the tower.
Quite impressive.
Just clarifying. We've stopped the GM. Oh god, my apologies.
Doesn't that
So yeah, you see the tower. You think
Right.
it is.
Isn't that tower we had in that virtual environment back?
No, that's a
bloody-
big erection.
Oh, bloody hell. We're not back here again. Oh,
If we look outside the window, does the scenery look similar?
Let me just double check. I mean, we are sort of 500 years in the future. But well,
right.
yeah,
First of
a
all,
lot of
we have
like,
to stop offensive finding any rocks.
I don't think they're going to blow up
Because-
this time.
you think there may have been more activity in Vladivostok beforehand. I mean, it's on a big river near an ocean, so yeah, it'll be a seaport. But now it's not really used very much. It's quite cold. There is a bit of grass, but it's not kind of long blades of grass or anything like that. And there's certainly no big ships flying around anywhere. Only sort of little small domestic ones. It's sort of quite shrubbery plants and things like that. The odd sort of mammal grazing.
But does the scenery look like our dream?
Well, the tower certainly does, but
Right.
yeah, the rest of your surroundings, not really. No.
Okay.
But you keep going along the road. It is still, a proper tarmacked road, so there must still be some people who live here. But soon you get to the big stadium, it's sort of almost like a big round coliseum type shape. And again, the tower sort of just looms. It's maybe about a mile away now. Actually, it's becoming quite prominent.
Right then, OB. What do we do now? What's the best thing to grab some seats or go to the changing rooms and see the team before they play, or what do we do now?
Aren't we in a bus?
You are in a bus.
Yeah, well, we just arriving at the stadium.
The rest of the passengers are essentially like big fans of the Guilty Without Judgment team. They've got all their like colours on and stuff. They've been singing songs and all that stuff that you do on a
Oh.
bus over a long period of time.
Well,
I-
what
I-
we do is we get off the bus.
I try to blend in as much as possible by occasionally, when they start sort of chanting, sort of making my sort of
But question.
look
You
make
said,
it look like I'm joining in on the chanting.
you said Guilty Without Judgment fans, but isn't it Cougars versus
Oh,
Black
sorry, yes.
Ballet or
Apologies.
something?
Yeah. Okay, let's go with the Black Ballet.
So we're with the Black Ballet fans.
Yes.
Me, an ex-Cougar player.
Yes.
I keep my head down the whole way.
Yeah, all the more reason for blending in.
Doctor, are you a sports fan by any chance?
Yes, I was affiliated with the Cougars. They're a very good team.
You were affiliated with the Cougars.
Yes, Miss Back. Don't you not remember?
Oh, sorry, I should have an American accent, and I completely forgot this entire session and the last one. Wait, were you on the team when I was on the team?
No, I was not on the team. I was a medical assistant and certain trials. Yes, the least said about that, the better.
Were you on the medical assistant team and the floor tiles when I was on the team?
I do believe so, yes. I think our paths may have crossed.
Oh, okay.
You're a very good player, must admit. It
Yeah,
is a shame.
offensive,
A shame.
You don't really have any recollection of this guy at all.
No, I wouldn't have. Had many knocks on the head, including the one that took me out the game.
True. Okay, yeah. So, you get off. There's some time to grab some food, have a look around the stadium. In terms of where you can go in, you do have a little bit of leeway because you do have your UIG passes, so you could just say you're from the UIG and you're inspecting something or what have you. So if you want to go into a more restricted area, then you can, as long as it's not like a computer area or anything like that.
Do we know where the body was found or anything at all? Because as I understood it, he didn't die in the stadium. He died not in the stadium.
He didn't die whilst playing, so he wasn't actually on the pitch. But there is the possibility that, yeah, he did die, backstage, if you will. That's what the reports are saying.
We need to see the dressing rooms.
Did Phil with 2L say he was assassinated?
He did.
Yes, Phil. One thing you'll learn about Phil, dear boy, is he is prone to some. What's the word?
Well,
Exaggeration.
He complains about the quality of the work, and the quality of the work is, Maxwell says, every mission is due to the quality of the briefing.
Makes sense. Yeah.
That's what Maxwell says. Every mission.
Yes.
At some point.
It's a clever man, Mr. Maxwell. Clever man.
Mr. Maxwell is probably going to mute his mic in a second so he can corpse destroy them.
Oh dear. Okay, so are you going to have a look in the sort of changing room area straight away, or are you going to wait until half time, something like that?
We should meet the Cougars and work out who they're going to kill next. Like, who's going to be killed in the Cougars if the Black Bandit people are killing people. Find out who the current team is and who's any good.
I think the best chance we have of doing any sort of investigation in the dressing room and the players' area is while the players are out on the field. So whilst they're out on the field, we shall do our investigations. If we wait till half time, the dressing room is going to be full of players, and then we won't be able to pick up many clues.
If they're going to kill them not during the game, in order to affect the result, then they'll kill them before the game. Because one thing I've learned about Welt Ball is if you kill a player, the earlier in the game you do it, the bigger impact it has. So you try to kill him at the start.
She has got the experience here over us.
Absolutely.
Now, if they're killing him before the game has begun, well, that's just not Welt Ball.
Well, maybe we should head there straight away and...
Why don't we kill them all beforehand, and then they won't be able to kill anyone?
Yes, but perhaps we should... It's a perfectly good idea in theory. Perhaps, just as a caveat, we should determine who actually were responsible for the assassination, and then we can kill them. I don't like the idea of just killing indiscriminately. And I might even try and say that word again, simply to try and pronounce it properly.
Well, let's go meet the Cougars and tell them not to take the drugs today. Like, to bring only ones they brought with them, not ones they get locally.
That seems sound enough, Council. Yes, let's head.
Okay. So you head over to the changing rooms. As you get down, you notice that there's a really long queue of people waiting to get autographs. It really sort of trails around the corner. But at the front of this queue, because, yeah, obviously you do just pass them, you see some familiar faces. And in fact, one of them pulls you aside, offensive. Says, "Oh, hey, you are the Cougars. Can I get your autograph?" And you see the dude bros in sort of weird LARPing Welt Ball outfits.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know you.
I think I know you as well.
Yeah. Okay. Autograph. Okay. Do you have a pen or a pencil?
Yeah. And they get out a few colors.
Yeah, I'm heading to the front of the queue.
Do you have a body part?
Yes, I do. Mostly still have body parts.
Okay. And I put an X on it. There we go.
Hey!
Hey!
I thought they were figments of our imagination.
Huh?
So it's a little bit stuffy and steamy in here. As you can imagine, it's a changing rooms with showers, stuff like that. There's sort of a division for the Cougars and for Black Ballet. Just so you've got a rough idea, Black Ballet, or BB, as they've got on their logos and stuff, they are higher in the ratings than Cougars at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And their choice of outfit is essentially black ballet gear, so sort of tutus and sort of very tight ballet outfits.
So offensive. Is this what they call a grudge match, or?
No, grudge is a fashion choice.
Oh,
Why am I half expecting to hear excerpts from Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake at this point?
So are you heading into the Cougars first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you see 5 younger people. You don't recognize any of them, so you assume that they're just new players, or newer anyway. One of them is already hitting themselves up with something. You're not sure what it is, or whether it's Sunatol. And there's a couple of others sort of getting stuff in their lockers. You think another 2 in the shower, not together.
Where's the coach? I say loudly. Like in my full player booming voice. Where's coach?
I don't know. Gone for a smoke?
Alright! And I hold up my UIG credentials.
Oh, shit.
And I played for this team! And I'm here to tell you, first of all,
But
use weapons! Secondly,
well, yeah, obviously use weapons, just not long-range ones.
absolutely. And do not hold the pointy end. It's what my coach always told me, and it always worked. Now, secondly,
They look a bit confused at you.
the local drugs might actually have a problem.
listen,
Don't use the local ones, just the shit you brought with you.
Excuse me. Yes. Could you perhaps direct us to your coach or manager, please?
Well, I just said I think he's gone out for a smoke. Hold on a minute.
Did you not hear me?
Offensive. You stay here and motivate the team. Zhang,
I said don't do local drugs.
Zhang, Dr. Reed,
Luckily-
if you'd like to, let's go and discuss the health benefits of smoking with the coach.
Luckily, I brought some from America.
And yeah, you see this guy come up and into the change room. He's a little bit overweight. He's wearing this really baggy American branded type coach sort of mascot jacket, very shiny, with the Cougar logo on the back. Sort of bright lime green pants, like really loud looking. He's got sort of sticky up blonde hair. And he takes off his sunglasses, and you can see sort of the white round his eyes and the rest of the tan. Whoa, who the hell are you?
We're UIG agents. We've been sent to just assess your situation before the game.
Oh, well, we're fine, all clean, aren't we? Yes.
No. We need to make sure you're using clean drugs because some of the local drugs have been spiked with murder shit.
Murder shit.
Yeah, stuff that kills you.
Right. Well, yeah, we've just been using our own.
So good.
I would have to check that. I would have to check that. I'll get my bag and click it open.
What?
I need sample.
You have to stand back. He's a doctor.
I need sample of this.
We didn't get any
Good.
notice of any UIG people coming in here and in
I
our
never expect that.
changing rooms. You're gonna have to
It's
convince
fine.
them a little bit.
For your own
Can you-
safety is the
Can
code.
you make me a
You never expect the UIG inspection.
presence and looking good?
That would be a bang-on success.
They look you up and down a little bit, but they sort of they're sort of convinced that you're legitimate. All right, fine. This is all I've been taking. We took it with us from America, so all good.
It's all good. I'll take it
Excellent.
off.
Tell me, this changing room that you're in at the moment, is this the changing room that all the visiting teams use, or do they swap about?
It's the away changing rooms. That's how it works in World Ball.
Yeah, normally the home team pranks the away team's room in some way. We got a load of nasty cockroaches in here.
Ah,
Ah.
okay. Well, obviously, we given that we are going to have to give this place a full inspection. Cockroaches can carry some very communicable diseases. Dr. Reed, I'm sure, will be able to confirm this, and we will have to do a complete search and sweep of your.
We are only
changing
here
rooms,
for
yeah.
2 hours.
It only takes one little bite from one little cockroach, and all of a sudden you've got a fucking pandemic going across your tour bus.
And besides, we really don't want to inspect it after the game because, you know, the away team leaves a present for the home team.
Okay.
Excellent.
Fine.
Okay. I'm not actually sure what we're going to find, but do we have an idea of where the body was found? Actually,
Yeah. You have a look around, and you definitely get an idea that it was like sort of stuffed maybe into a locker. There's quite a lot of denting, as if someone was really shoved in there or something big was shoved in.
To fit into a locker, would it have been a small player or would it have been somebody chopped up?
There is a little bit of blood in there, but it is quite a big locker, sort of up to here off the floor,
Okay.
quite tall. So it could potentially get in with a couple of broken bones.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
is it possibly just bent into, possibly just crushed and cracked and bent in there?
Must have taken a bit of effort to get him inside, though. Do you know
Well, if I'd be very interested to find out if he played the entire match.
Did we know if he was killed before or after the game?
Or perhaps
Because if it's
during.
after, he might have just been left in the locker. But if it's before, he might have been murdered.
Interesting. Well, you'll be able to find that out from sort of records of the game. There'll be footage of that.
Yeah, that's the next thing I want to check.
Okay. By the way, Klaus, you've had a test of the sample. It does seem to be just sort of your regular steroid, but there are definite, ever so slight extracts of synetol in there. Like just the odd milligram.
this poor grade. It has been mixed with all sorts of steroids and it is rubbish. Not as good as the stuff we used to make back in the day. Anyway, enough of that.
Yeah, a bit of an expert, are we, Doctor?
We had the best drugs in the league when I played.
We did.
We had this German doctor, and he told us it was the best. I trust Germans.
Thank you. She's correct. But this is.
How do you know? Were you in the Cougars?
I was affiliated with the Cougars. Yes. You were a good player, Miss Back. I remember you from back in the day.
Wow, I used to play for the Cougars too. What position were you in?
I was usually at the on the bench.
Oh, substitute.
You could say.
Never mind. Next career choice, huh?
Well, he was a substitute whenever you needed him.
So, as you're kind of finishing up your conversation, oh, sorry, Phil, go ahead.
Can we find out what position this person played, the dead person?
Yeah, definitely. You wouldn't be able to find out in here because it's all temporary lockers.
No, I want to go to the
Sort of the main control.
yeah,
tower.
because I want to see a run through of that match. I want to see if he started the game, if he finished the game.
Yeah, it's fine. No problem.
I want to. My thinking is if he actually was sent off or something, had to, early shower, and didn't finish the whole game, then the fact that there's a whole game going on and all that noise would have given any killer the perfect opportunity.
Indeed. But yeah, as you're finishing off your conversation, suddenly you hear cheering, really deafening cheering outside. It kind of then dies down a little bit. There's some sort of music that thumps away.
Oh shit, I should be on the pitch.
No. Oh, well, actually, that's a bloody good idea. Not actually playing. I don't think they'd allow that. But
No, we got away with having an extra player all the time. Give me a uniform.
There are a couple more. They're kind of already used, so not particularly nice. But
as long as it's Cougar.
yeah, there's a couple of Cougars.
Okay, I'm gonna get dressed up and hit the pitch.
All right, so you hit the pitch. The teams are lined up towards the back. At the moment, they're doing all the kind of sponsor ads and things like that, which involves people coming on with these big flags, and they've got these very sort of thin LED screens with different ads on them and stuff. But interestingly, you notice one person stick out among the people walking along doing their ad, and that is a young lady, blonde hair, blue eyes, looks very similar to Gemini.
Okay.
And in fact, what she's advertising is Gemini Bioptics.
ooh,
Huh.
is that in case you're double vision?
Well, it talks about a couple of things, like there's like a chameleon look you can go with, so you can have like different colored skin and things like that. There's sharp teeth or metal jaws you can get.
Interesting.
Well, Nonetheless, I'm here to win a game, so I'm going to do the way we always used to run an extra player, was you just hide at the side of the pitch, and then when one of the opposing team comes along, you leap on, bash them one, and then duck out the way, preferably with a weapon. So I'll take my sword.
Okay.
Oh God, no!
Yeah, this World Ball is really violent.
Yeah.
As long as you don't use long-range weapons, that's the rule. But you can use swords, you can use knuckle dusters, whatever.
Yes, but we've seen how violent offensive can be with that sword.
Yes.
It's not just a quick pummeling. It tends to leave limbs lost.
Indeed.
Oh,
Meanwhile, though, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm heading to the control room.
Yeah. Are you all going up there? Apart from Vince,
So, because we need to find out a bit more about what happened.
Yeah.
When it happened.
We need an idea of the starting teams. We need a definite idea of when, if he started, did he finish the game? Because that'll give us some sort of timeline.
And we need to see the body.
Well, you don't know if you'll be able to do that. It depends if it's been sent away or not, but you can certainly find out what you can. So yeah, you're kind of rushing up the stadium stairs as everyone's like standing up and cheering and stamping their feet. So it's a little bit difficult to do. And I imagine offensive kind of comes careering on after taking down one of the black ballets. Could you make me your first roll for that?
So basically, the idea is I'm waiting for the game to kick off, and I'll wait until one of the black ballet players is near me. I dart onto the pitch, kill them in uniform, and then get off the pitch.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it'd be a regular close combat roll.
Okay. Are they going to defend, or have I caught them by surprise?
They appear to not have noticed you.
Okay. In that case, I have an excess of 8, so I roll my damage. 32.
Okay. Yeah, so you definitely get them in one blow, but they do fall to the floor extremely stylishly. Given they are black ballet.
Okay. And then I'll just dig the sword in and disappear off the pitch and wave to the fans.
Yeah, and you get a cheer from that. Oh, it looks like one of the ex-Cougars has come back for a special cameo.
Oh dear boy.
So the rest of you get it to, let's call it the control tower.
Actually, now I lose control of myself at that. I'm going to charge onto the pitch.
Okay, all right. So the sort of the attention is with you for a minute. Okay, so yeah, the rest of you get to the control tower. There's a little bit of kerfuffle because the game has started and you're kind of interrupting things, but you do manage to get in, and somebody does sort of take you towards the back of the room, away from the commentators.
Excellent.
Yes,
we would like to.
quickly.
Yes, we would like to see footage of the game between Black. No, of 2 weeks ago between UIG and Black Ballet. We would like to see that. We would also like to see all your security footage from your security guards and cameras as well for that match.
Okay, there's a room through here if you'd like to follow me.
It just occurs to me, Ian, if we can't get the body, then we might have security footage of them finding the body.
True. Is the wounds I was thinking of?
We might, well, short of us finding the body, it could be our way in. We might see something.
Yep.
So, when we get the footage, I'm going to look at the game, particularly to look for Daniel. I'm not too bothered about the score. It's more looking for Daniel. I'm going to offset the security footage to the doctor and Zhang to see if they can find any images of the security forces finding the body.
Oh,
Yeah.
found the body, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it takes you a little bit of time to trawl through all the footage. But yeah, you see Daniel appears to be one of the sort of the main people. He's doing all the flurry moves with two swords. He's got a lot of attention on him. He's thinning out the pitch a little bit so the others can get in and get the points through the goal.
My word, he has whilst he lacks offensive directness, there is a certain flair to his playing. I must admit.
And
I can see why he was a rising star. Wish I'd been representing him, actually.
yeah.
Bastard. Why couldn't he have signed to me?
You carry on through the first half. Plays all the way through. There's just literally one moment where he goes to a bench to get some water, but you can see all of that. No issues or anything like that. Gets to halftime. Obviously, the players go off. And as far as you're aware, all the players come back on. But you do notice Daniel, he does appear to be not quite as good. Maybe he's just tired, but I mean, you're not really sure because none of you are particularly into close combat like offensive is, but he just seems to be a bit more clumsy with his moves.
Is he wearing a face mask or something? Or
he's not wearing a face mask, but they're all dolled in like almost kind of like not camo makeup, but sort of tribal style makeup. So it's quite hard to see his face in a lot of detail. But you can zoom in and things like that. You can try and do a reading if you want.
Perhaps he was given something during the break.
It's definitely one possibility. Another is, well, I just want to rule out the other. I want to see if I can get a decent shot of him from the first half and compare the face to the second half.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, you do that. Can you, anyone who's looking at the comparison, can you make me an intelligence with observation, please?
Ooh. I made that by 6.
Ooh.
Thank fuck you did. I mean, literally, I have 14 in total for that, and I fucking failed.
I failed as well.
Yeah, because the two of you who failed, you're too busy trying to look for every single little tiny feature and has he got the same shaped nose? Has he got this? Whereas Zhang, you're seeing something that's much more obvious and more to the big picture, and that is in terms of his war paint. Because over time, especially if you're in sweaty surroundings or you're exerting yourself, it will slowly come off. Whereas in the second picture, it is fresh.
It looks like he might have been replaced. All of his was all fresh and new, and
oh, can't see the wood for the trees. Of course, yes.
You said he stopped, paused to take a drink. Could we concentrate on where he took the drink of water from? Maybe cameras were still on that position. Could we see if anyone was planted this water or meddled with it in some way?
Yeah, sure. So you go back through. There are a few more shots, but again, it's sort of in a corner. So why would they shoot that area? But it's just like a sports bottle that he drinks out of, and you don't see any sign of anybody putting anything in or spiking it.
Okay.
Meanwhile, as you're perusing through those, back to offensive. The Cougars are at the moment tied with Black Ballet. Black Ballet are doing their infamous technique that you are semi-aware of, where they appear to be losing. And what they try and do is do a singular death move before getting a load of points in. So you think it's approaching that point.
Okay, I have to kill as many Black Ballet players as possible. As a player, I'm going to use the same tactic now as I did back then. I have no concept or awareness of the ball or scoring points.
Okay.
I just kill people.
Well, the Cougars do lack team coherency after all.
Yes, sure. Whatever.
Well, they do apparently. It's in the book. But you are modified to near invincibility, apparently. You can see, actually, you're a little bit jealous of the other three's cybernetics. They're much more advanced than you wanted to get.
I never had cybernetics.
Well, yeah, exactly, that you wanted to get.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I make up for it.
Okay. Right, so how many of the Black Ballet lot are you trying to kill at once?
Oh, I will attack any crowd of 3 or less.
Okay.
Sorry, let me rephrase. I will attack every crowd of 3 or less.
Gentlemen, we may have to meet. We may have to do that most that part of our training which is most useful in situations like this. I've got a feeling we might have to leg it.
Okay. Again, guys, this is part of the Welt Ball rules. Like, people die in it.
I don't think they're expecting offensive back though.
So, I rolled quite terribly. So, could you give me a close combat roll? However, given you're trying to kill 3 or more people at once in one big swoop, you're going to get a -4 penalty.
Okay, well, I passed by 4.
4. Okay. So yeah, it's no trouble to you. You've played this area a couple of times anyway. This stadium, so you know how it works. Yeah, you just sweep through with your sword, decapitate all 3 of them
in one beautiful move.
And
then I gather up the heads, and for the first time ever, I'm going to try and score a point. I dunk the heads into the scoring pit.
Okay. Can you give me an agility plus support weapons? Let's see how well your throwing is.
Plus 11, or excess of 11.
Oh, Jesus.
I bullseye all 3 heads.
you do more than that. There's a net at the back, which all of them bounce off. You catch them and throw them back in again. The crowd is going absolutely mental. They've even got the special pyros out for you that they only give to like the top players in the whole league.
Oh yeah, I'm loving this.
Well, we're going to have to seriously go and look back at our ranking, because I don't know why offensive isn't at the top of our league right now. Holy lads.
She's doing rather well, isn't she? Bloody hell.
You're actually, it sort of starts dying down at the end, and you're actually pulled over by a lot of journalists who wanted to get interviews with you.
I was going to say, there's one more move I do before the end of the match.
Oh, right. Sorry,
I'm going to rip off the other team's goal, and I'm going to run at the ball, and I'm going to score by trapping the goal over the ball.
Okay. Fair enough.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So yeah, the rest of you see this all happening on, over the heads of the commentators, who really are quite speechless towards the end about what's just happened.
Nothing like keeping a look profile.
Shit.
Yeah.
But she wasn't always like this, you know.
This is one of those situations where a subtle has actually, wasn't the right way to go.
Oh, she's kept his attention away from us. That's
Oh
good.
yeah. So yes, I was just thinking, Jason, you're absolutely right. The TV cameras probably wouldn't be looking at the dugout area where the two
Not
teams would
really,
have
no.
waters. Security cameras would, for obvious reasons, because the
Yeah.
managers and stuff. So we should have footage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you get to see more of the nooks and crannies. With the changing rooms, yes, you can see in them, although the footage is not as good quality. You think maybe because it's Vladivostock, it's a bit remote. It's not state of the art somewhere up in Scandinavia or something like that. But yeah, you do see a situation unfold out in front of you during half time, where there's just Daniel by himself in the changing rooms. He's just kind of doing a few stretches, polishing his swords and things like that. When somebody comes in and they're wearing a helmet with a very kind of shiny visor, and you don't really recognize them, but they're wearing kind of ballish outfits again.
Oh boy.
They stick something in his neck, leave him be for a bit. not quite.
Killed by craft work. Just for the
And
benefit
then,
of Steve who watches.
yes, and then once he's convulsed and fallen, like slumped to the floor, the person in the helmet comes back in. Oh, Ian's gone.
He couldn't take the craft work joke.
No. Comes back in and stuffs him in the locker.
Oh. So we have our answer then. It wasn't the same guy on for the second half.
No. I want to sort of basically crawl through the security footage, essentially following those two individuals once they leave the changing room, and to see where they go from there on in. I'm hoping that the security cameras, I know they'll probably either A, go into the crowd, or B, they'll go into, they'll head out the stadium. But either way, we should find something to track them, like a vehicle or something. Or if they do go into the crowd, maybe they'll take their helmet off, and then we've got an ID to work with.
Welcome back, Klaus. I think he may be having connection issues.
No, yeah.
Just give him a sec. Are you there?
A bit sort of jerky picture, isn't it?
I think that's just how he moves.
You are muted.
Some kind of connection issues.
Oh dear.
That's because everyone's at home on the internet.
Yeah. So yeah, essentially, just to fill you in.
But I can hear you now.
You need to tell all your neighbors to stop watching Netflix.
Yeah. This is more important. Yeah, so to fill you in on what you missed. So Max was playing back the security footage of the changing rooms, and he found a person in a helmet approaching Daniel whilst he was by himself in the changing rooms, give him an overdose, and then stuff him in the locker. And essentially, he was going to sort of trail through to see if he could find where this person went or when they took the body, things like that. So what happens is, almost immediately after that, the person with the helmet takes off the helmet, puts it in another locker, and he immediately changes into a Guilty Without Judgment outfit, puts on the war paint, and you can see actually he does look quite similar Similar sort of face shape and complexion, but without makeup on. Yeah, you could tell he was different. And he goes onto the pitch with the swords. He kind of picks up the swords. He sort of smirks a little bit, and then he goes on. If you're keeping an eye still on the changing room, a little bit later, maybe 10 minutes later, you can see a couple of other people come in again with these helmets on. They appear to be just sort of motorbike helmets, but they're a little bit distinct. They've got kind of a copper sheen to them, and again, this sort of shiny visor. They take out the body from the locker. They check that he's definitely gone, which they seem to think yes. And then they go round the back, and you think there may be like a back door or a fire exit of some sort.
Okay. Do they have cameras for that area?
Let's see if you can find them, because this is where it gets a bit more restricted. So, could you make me an intelligence plus computers and AI, somebody?
Somebody or everyone?
Well, anybody who wants to, who's in the room.
Okay. The role that I could really easily do, I missed, and the role that I could barely do, I fucking passed. There's life for you. Made it by 2.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So you get some of the view outside. It only kind of goes off in one direction, so you can't see. It's not like a panorama, but essentially, it's outside the changing rooms. It's quite barren looking. There does appear to be something that's just off the camera, and you get a glimpse of one of the people in helmets kind of moving from one frame, one side of the frame to the other, if that makes sense. So you can't really see much going on. But you do then see some kind of Jeep type vehicle driving off towards the tower.
Yeah, to freeze frame on that, see if we can get a good enough image for to get a license plate or something.
Oh, a license plate. Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, there's it's like I don't know off the top of my head what Russian plates are like, especially 500 years later.
Yeah,
but yeah, you can get them in plate.
I'll make a note of it anyway.
Yeah.
As I'm sure it'll be in Russian acrylic and Cyrillic acrylic. That's fucking
or maybe
paint.
it's painted on with acrylic.
It's Cyrillic acrylic.
Yeah, but they seem to be going off towards this ominous tower.
Oh, the tower.
The tower. And on that note, I think we should take a short break.
Okay.
So yeah, some days, when you're playing, everything's going well, and it just feels like you've got an extra player on the pitch because everything's just going your way.
And sometimes you just have to have a player on the pitch.
Yeah. See you in a couple of minutes.
All right, we'll be right back.
And just to say, hi, Steve.
Hello.
Yes, hope you're doing okay.
We were having a
in
very
isolation now.
we were having a very in-depth conversation on Friday night because I'm going to be running a game on Friday. For some of my out players, we're going to be doing Ultima Forsan, which is a sort of slightly otherworld, sort of medieval, where the Black Plague pretty much ravaged through Europe for 2 centuries. And humanity is just... The thing is, with this particular Black Plague, if you die from the plague, you get resurrected as a zombie. So they're having to deal with the plague and the undead and all kinds of nasty abominations and mutations. So it'll be a nice, fun, happy, light scenario.
With no connections to the real world at all.
With no connections, no sort of topical relevance to the current situation at all. None. I'd also like to stay in the same spirit of truthfulness that Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy exist. Trump is a genius.
Whoa.
I said right up there with, it's going to be a nice, light, happy scenario.
Gosh. Well, on that terrifying note. So, the three of you finish up what you're doing. You go through as much as you can, take some notes if you need to, even some screenshots. You can take those, put them on your data files. And when you head down, Offensive is still doing interviews with people from various people. Actually, Maxwell, you'd recognize a few of them. They're sort of freelance journalists. You've networked with them a couple of times.
Now we ball really hard. There was some ball play. It was very bally. Yeah.
I head over to the freelancers.
As you do so, one of them asks you, Offensive, so I hear there's this new drug on the market. Have you tried it yet?
Look, it is the official position of the Cougars to only use... Oh, hang on. Sorry, wrong accent again. I completely forget. I'm supposed to be American. It is the position of the Cougars that you should not do drugs except from an authorized supplier.
Well, they are due to be authorized very soon, but of course, being a Cougar, we were assuming that at least some of you would have got your hands on the stuff. It sounds quite potent.
From what I've seen of the current state of the Cougars... what do they call the room you go into when you're not on the pitch?
The changing room?
Yeah. By the current state of the room that changes, I don't think the Cougars have a terribly good dealer.
And why do you say that?
Because I've got a doctor with me and he analyzed it and he said it was shit.
Oh. Well then.
So the Cougars are trying to cheat like everyone else, but actually they're playing pretty au natural at the moment.
Well, whatever you're doing is obviously good.
Just to clarify the situation, because I feel we shouldn't be misquoted. The doctor, in fact, did not refer to the drug as excrement. He merely pointed out that it was not fully potent.
Trace elements, I think he said.
Yes.
What?
Now,
shit?
Listen. By the way, do you cover all the matches in this stadium?
Not in this stadium, no. But Me and Tash here, we travel around and cover all the Welt Ball matches that we can.
Oh, will you happen to be here covering the match between Black Ballet and UIG a couple of weeks ago?
Tash was, yes. I mean, it was a little bit annoying because we were called away after the first half.
Oh, why were you called away?
Oh, just some contractual issues. We're booked freelance, you see. Apparently, it was a mix-up, and we shouldn't have been there. We should have been at another stadium.
Oh, that's rather upsetting. That's just terrible. Yes. Well, yes, good to catch up. See you at the next drinkies do.
Yeah, sure. And they look at you a bit oddly because they've been to one or two, but they're not the type that can afford to go on, fantastic drink excursions and stuff like you can.
Yes. Right, I head back with the rest of them.
Cool.
Okay, we need to find a quiet place.
There are a couple of more expensive rooms you can hire out that are normally for posh people who want to get drunk. There's a karaoke feature in there.
Where are we?
I think one of the boxes.
We're in a box. Did we die?
Not yet.
Observation box.
Gemini's here, by the way, the woman. So I guess I didn't kill her.
Oh,
Either that or she really is, as her name suggests. Maybe there was actually two of them.
She was advertising something to do with what's that thing where you put metal in your body?
Cybernetics?
No, I think it's cybernetics. She was advertising cybernetics.
okay.
Right. Okay, so yeah, we need to find a quiet place. We were
Surely
gonna
this
start.
box will do.
Is it busy roundabout, or do we have some
No,
sort of
you
privacy here?
you can be completely like doors closed. You can say no, don't disturb or anything like that.
Yeah. Closed, do not disturb sign on the door. Okay. So far, we've found some. We've managed to ascertain some facts. First of all, you're still fucking amazing on the field. Offensive.
Why, thank you. I didn't see much of the game on account of being half blind.
Well, we let's just say I have a feeling that most of the press about the game tomorrow would be about you.
Well, that's
And
problematic,
it will be.
given I'm not actually a player.
Well, it's going to be quite positive. The only drawback I can see is that I've got a feeling that Phil with two L's is going to be a little less impressed with us because he's going to think we've been wandering off our brief again. However, we have ascertained that Daniel was killed during halftime, that his murderer took to the field in the second half as him, and that a couple of others stowed him away in a jeep. The real Daniel took his body and
they left about half time.
Yes.
Just after half time.
Who's Daniel?
That would be the person whose murder we're here to investigate.
Oh, you got a name. Excellent. So, just one question. Who's Daniel?
Zhang, you'll go.
Never mind.
I think that's going to be the gag from here on in, Jason. It's just going to be the
Who's Daniel?
Maxwell at some point is just going to say, "Right, Zhang, you'll go."
Mm.
Yeah, never mind, Daniel. We know the name of the guy that was murdered. Let's just move on.
Oh, okay. Next job then. What we solving now?
No,
We haven't quite solved it yet. We still have to identify the people who took him away in the Jeep.
Okay. Are they called Daniel?
They may very well be. Let's go and find them.
But they headed off in the direction of the big tower.
Oh.
Yes. Very old-fashioned thing, Jason. I want to run their license plate.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Don't we have these? Sorry, carry on.
I put in the license plate, the Cyrillic and everything, and run it through the database and see if we get an owner.
You don't get a person as an owner, but you do get a name of the company, which is Gemini.
Oh.
Question. Does this stadium, particularly in the team areas, have any kind of those bioscanners, the ID scanners for secure areas or anything like that?
There are a couple, yeah.
So,
for,
is
like,
it possible
maintenance and things?
this person who killed Daniel walked through one of those gates to get to the team area? Because they would be checked for weapons. Anyone going into that area must surely be scanned.
Yeah.
And there'd
'cause
be
you
cameras
use your-
on that.
Yeah,
So we
you
could-
used your cars to get through, so...
Yeah, we can look at the pictures on those security cameras and see if that person's there, the one who looks like Daniel. And if he's there, we can see who his ID chip is, and then we can use our ID bioscanner in our UIG equipment, and we can find out where he is. Which will probably be in the tower. Oh yeah, you did that already. Come on, let's go.
Well, you can still check if you want.
It's
up to you.
I want to try and find out if someone knows what the tower is. We have to find out what the tower is.
Sorry, sir, you're a bit quiet there. Can you just repeat that?
Yeah, so can we just try and find out what the tower is?
Yes.
Just by asking around.
Yes.
Yeah, it's easy to do because obviously it is in the peripheral vision almost all the time. You talk to some of the owners of the stadium, things like that, and they say it is essentially a tower owned by Gemini BioWare.
Do we want the name of the killer? Is my idea worth checking? Or does the individual not
Yes. Your idea was very good.
Your idea was superb.
You have moments of lucidity.
I don't really...
Acumen.
You all use such long words.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
Long words,
essentially trying to run a scan on the scanners to see if it registered a name for him.
Yeah, so we look at when he comes through on the CCTV, try and identify him, and then see what name came up on the ID scanner.
Okay.
And then we can use our ID bioscanners that you said can track where a person is by giving it an ID scan.
Yeah. Okay. So you can only see him go through twice, once onto the stadium and once off at the end. And both times he doesn't register any name. Nothing comes up for him.
VIP.
Maybe he hasn't been born yet.
You can, if you want to try and, go really slow or something like that, you can give me perception observation rolls.
All of us?
Yep.
Well,
again,
I did
whoever-
not critical succeed, which
was
is
that?
what I need to do to pass.
What was it? Perception and...
Observation.
Oof. Here we go again. Right.
Pass by 5.
Okay.
Failed.
Okay.
Well done. Mind elsewhere.
So the majority
missed
of you
by
find it
one.
quite baffling. You do notice that the scanner does sort of shimmer a little bit more violently than normal, almost as if the scanners are a bit confused. But Jang, you notice that this guy's, from what you can see, because some of it is covered up by uniform and stuff, his skin, so for example, on his hands, on the back of his neck, you can also see there is an odd shimmer
Okay.
as he goes through the scanner.
And I'm going to call the doctor's attention to that. I'll say, Doctor, notice the skin at his hands and his neck.
The shimmer. Okay, what does that mean?
The Gemini
Do I know?
woman was advertising different skin things they could do with cybernetics.
Yeah, you think it could be something.
The chameleon.
Possibly. You could make me, for example,
Interesting.
an intelligence and let's go with science roll. In fact, no, I beg your pardon. Sorry, cybernetics, of course.
Intelligence, cybernetics.
Yeah, intelligence and cybernetics.
No, I'm not even going to try. Not the way I'm rolling.
Okay, so I passed by 5 again.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, Klaus is right.
That's my
It could
11.
be. Oh, fantastic! You definitely know then. So, Klaus, yeah, you first think, okay, yeah, it could be the chameleon thing, but you think, well, yeah, but that's more to conceal you, but you'd still be picked up by a scanner if you walk through it. You think it could potentially be something to do with a thickener of sorts, so the skin becomes thicker, so therefore it's harder to read the sort of the biogenetics or the genetic readings of you. It could even potentially cover things like your ID chip. Therefore, it's unreadable.
Would that not throw up an alarm?
Well, you think so, but whatever cybernetics they use are obviously very refined.
Very interesting. I need to speak to these people at Gemini. Very interesting. I think they have technology beyond what normal people would have.
Well, I think that's
Normal,
crazy because you can't just get a privacy license. I used to have one when I was a player, and it meant anyone below me in rank could not see the details of my ID chip. Although I was only rank 1, so only outlaws couldn't read my ID.
Yes.
Is it possible that person's higher rank than we can't see because of that?
You think
Possibly,
that
but
might be? Oh, sorry.
yeah, it's possible. The evidence suggests a bit of both. Maybe they were hired assassins, and they had this special pigmentation, and they were higher level than us, so they did not appear on the ID scans. So a bit of both.
I've been thinking a lot about all the evidence we've acquired over these several missions, and I can't help but feel that somehow Gemini are involved.
I'm glad I was sitting down for that. I'm glad I was sitting for that particular revelation. That would have that would have taken me by surprise. That one. Listen, it looks like we're dealing with obviously high, if not experimental tech. We're looking at a great deal of money being put up front. My question then is, why does a rising star, albeit a rising star, in sports require high-level assassination in such a public arena?
You don't suppose this Sunatol is crushed up sports people, do you? That they get the juju out of the top sports people and squeeze it out of them and into an injection.
I don't think it works like that.
Oh, okay.
Senator, presented to you from the makers of Silent Green.
Who won that game, the other couple of weeks ago?
Well, it was the UIG in the end.
Won it anyway.
So it couldn't have been an assassination to
the game.
Someone who'd made a large amount of money on a bet.
Yeah.
Perhaps it must have been personal. So I need to look into this Two Swords and see what he was up to in his life.
Yes, what he did when he wasn't on the field.
Well, I imagine.
Or we go to the tower and offensive back.
I would say we look for information on our Mr. Chan first, and then once we have a little more evidence that we can at least send to Mr. Phil, then we can look at this tower.
One question.
Okay.
Who's Mr. Chen?
Chang, it's yours.
It is Two Swords.
Yes,
Who's that?
it's the gentleman that got killed.
I thought that was Daniel.
Yes, he's one of those terrible people who has a very long name.
Ah, an alias.
He has three names.
Yes. Some people call him Daniel, some people call him Mr. Chan, and some people call him Two Swords.
I thought Two Swords was a woman. Runs a brothel in London.
No,
Are you guys still in the box, by the way, while you're talking?
yes.
Okay. So it's quite a small room, and again, really big windows, so you can see out of it. And as you're talking about what you're going to do, like looking up Daniel, getting to the tower, you see on just out of the corner of your eye, on the sand of the actual stadium, there's nobody around, but you notice kind of scuffs of sand just kind of come up as if somebody's running along it, but there's nobody there.
Oh. I'm gonna put on my anti-laser dazzle glasses and switch on my shield.
Okay. There is a window. Is it affected by a window, or does it just go straight through?
No, my shield.
Yeah, but what about the others?
What about them? Did they not bring a shield?
I did bring a shield.
Are you going to warn them before you do this?
Oh, only I saw it. Oh my god, what about the others?
Okay, just explain to me. Does it refract through at all, or is it going to reflect back?
Does what refract through?
Your laser thing.
No, the glasses, anti-dazzle laser glasses.
Oh, I thought you meant that you fire out and they dazzle somebody.
No.
Right.
They're anti.
Right.
They're protective equipment. I'm putting on all my PPE.
Right. Okay.
But we're
So
not being topical.
You can tell I've totally read the splat books. Okay. Do you let the others know what's going on?
Well, we see a shield fire up.
What are you doing?
Yeah, look
Well,
out the
I
window.
thought it might be prudent on account of the invisible person running across the pitch toward us.
They're not running towards you per se.
Along
They
the
just seem to be, yeah, they're running along as if they're trying to get off somewhere.
Oh,
Okay, why don't I knock this here window out, dive out, and chase after them?
Yes, I think that's rather speaking. Not that you fucking heard me. Just
perhaps there's a ghost of all those bulking clothes.
Okay, Miss Back, can you give me an agility plus athletics roll?
offensive. We need him alive, preferably.
I failed
One
by
piece.
2.
Okay.
Bugger. Oh, can I use conviction to pass that?
Yes.
Yeah, I will.
Yes, you can.
Because I've got some.
Necessarily there. Okay. So you can see a little bit more of the sand coming up. You dive down. It's quite painful landing, but you just carry on. And you think you might be gaining on them, but you still can't see them.
Okay.
What are the rest of you doing?
Perhaps we should.
Chasing
Go.
after.
I'm not jumping out of the window.
Okay. In that case, you head out the
No,
conventional
just
way.
go through the door.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Offensive. As you clamber to the bottom of the stadium, you can see the scanner sort of do its shimmer thing towards the changing rooms.
Okay. Is that within range of me throwing my Aussie knife?
I don't see why not, but you'd have to be quick.
I'll do it.
All right.
I have to roll something, don't I?
Yes. Yeah, because you're throwing, aren't you? So it would be agility plus.
Support.
I would say support weapons again. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
almost like a throwing knife.
Pass by 6.
Oh, okay. So you don't completely hit them square on. What happens is it just misses them, clangs off the sort of the base bit of the scanner, but it
It's
does.
okay. I don't do as much damage with the Aussie knife. You don't have to.
No, but it does slash something out of their arm, and you just see a little bit of blood just drop on
Awesome.
the floor.
I'll sprint after them, pick up my Aussie knife on the way past, and follow the trail of blood.
Okay. And the others see her trying to throw the Aussie knife. Yeah, they go into the Cougar changing room.
I just want to contact Offensive by speaker and just say, we're coming down the back way. Which way are you heading?
I'm going towards one of those rooms that changes.
Changing rooms, right.
Or I should say now the away changing room, because the Cougars will have gone by now.
So we'll head down towards the away changing room.
Let's do it.
Okay. So when you get in, as you turn the corner, you hear the slam of a locker, and somebody heading out the back door. And then you hear the sound of a motorbike revving.
Okay, well, if I can at all, possibly, I'm going to get onto the back of that bike.
You would need to do a strength plus athletics roll.
Oh, transport.
Pass by 1.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So I get onto the back in order to chase them.
Yep. At the moment they are visible, you can see blonde hair coming out of the back of the helmet.
Just to be clear, am I on the back of the motorbike?
Yes.
Okay. So I can see they're right there.
Yes, they are visible.
Okay. Yes. Oh, I see. They're visible.
They are visible now. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to hold on to them. holding my LC knife
Okay.
against their pulling back, but also so I don't fall off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Yes, we're going to have to give chase.
And then I get on the speaker and say, I'm sneaking behind them.
And managing to do it without using an American accent, it's really rather good.
Stay out of sight.
I'm rubbing off on you.
They can't see me at all.
We've got any transport to give chase, though. Can we hotwire something, steal something?
There's a couple of small vehicles you could use. They're not particularly good, but they're used for getting in and out of town. So.
What's this person doing now that I'm holding them and got the knife against their chest?
They're trying to sway you off, really.
Okay, well, every time they try to do that, I press the knife a little bit closer to the point that I'll pierce their clothing.
Yeah. Okay.
And put pressure on their flesh.
I am rolling so terribly. Okay.
And we applaud you for it.
If we can get to one of these vehicles and maybe just break it and hotwire it or something.
Yeah, that's fine.
the
We don't need to,
nearest one we can
don't need to make
find.
a roll or anything now.
Who's driving?
So do they slow up the more pressure I put on with this knife?
Not from what you can see.
Okay, I'll start bringing the knife up their stomach, drawing a little bit of blood occasionally, and get it closer and closer to their neck.
Okay, so you're holding onto them with one hand, you're doing that with the other.
Yeah, and then the other hand is holding the knife against initially their tummy, but I'm bringing it higher and higher, drawing blood occasionally as I put pressure on it.
Ah, that's a bit better. Okay. So suddenly out of nowhere, you see this hand come up and get you in the neck, and something pierces in.
Okay, then I just kill them with the knife.
That's fine. Yep.
I don't know how to ride a bike. Oh, yes, I do.
And the person just sort of slumps like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I bring it. Yeah, I bring it to a standstill and go, I need a toxin purge or something. I've been got by something.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're not too far behind you.
The tower's getting ever more closer to you, Offensive, but it's taking a slightly different hue. It looks a little bit different. It's a different time of day. The grass is much longer.
Oh.
I may have been Sinatol.
Oh, Balderdash.
And the rest of you get to her as the motorbike starts slowing down. And you see a rather doped up Offensive.
Yeah, jump out and try and help her over to the car and get her into the back.
Yep.
Check the guide, see if he's actually dead or not.
If who's dead, sorry?
The guy who's riding the
yes. Excuse me. Yeah, so what, did you say you were going to take off the helmet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, okay. You take off the helmet and you see Gemini. She does appear to at least be losing blood. But yeah, it's really odd. Like, there is some blood coming out, but not a lot.
Connection's no good.
What would you like to do, Ian?
Yeah.
Are you okay with just voice, or does it still break up?
I think that answers that question.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we've not got long left.
No, we haven't actually.
Do we want to save Gemini for answering questions, or are we going to just let her die?
Yeah, it's odd because you're not doctors, but you can definitely see that there should be more blood coming out. Like you've killed enough people before.
What colour's the blood?
Well, this is still red. It's sort of
I'm dropping
normal.
it from
What colour is her skin?
Very pale. Obviously, not been to many beaches.
Is she showing any of those blue veiny things that shows a use of Senatol?
No.
I think we should drag her back to the car and see if the doctor can do anything to help her.
Yes.
I think we're going to interrogate her.
Okay.
Yes.
Using
Get her patched up.
the interrogation machine.
We probably are going to have to message Ian through Facebook, to be honest.
Hmm.
So I don't know how much of this he's actually able to see.
I would imagine not much. I mean, we can carry on a bit if you want, or
Well,
if you want to leave
right.
it there, we can.
drop.
Okay.
Okay, he's gone completely.
So yeah, up to you if you want to carry on or if you want to leave it there.
It's probably a good pause point anyway.
Okay.
It gives Ian a chance to, get back, because it sounds like this is going to be an important bit of interrogating, and don't want Ian
Yeah,
to miss out
exactly.
on
I
it.
don't want to go on too long anyway.
Don't want Ian to miss out.
I think if we can stabilise her, we can scare the shit out of her with offensive back.
Okay.
Wow, the tower looks so grassy.
Don't worry, we'll get you back to normality soon enough. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do this interrogation without her.
Oh no, this time I'm alone. I'm back in the game, but whenever I've played that game, I've always had Maxwell and the weird pork guy. Now I'm by myself. Have I lost my friends?
All by myself.
Oh no. But I remember the stone shoot lasers. So I'm getting me some of them.
Unless you pick up a rock to try that theory out, we're gonna end there a little bit prematurely. But yeah,
Yep,
it seemed like a
just
good point to end anyway. So
Yeah, because this interrogation is possibly a turning point, so we really need want all hands on deck for that, which includes Ian as well.
Thank you for watching, Steve.
Yes,
yeah, thank you, Steve.
thank you, Steve. I'll see you on Friday.
I hope you
Bye.
appreciate my very variable accent.
But yeah, we'll see you. Hopefully, all of us next week.
Yes.
Yep.
Bye.
Yes.
See you,
Yes,
Steve.
because human contact needed. This is the nearest we get anymore.
Bye.